my top 5 favorite Naruto characters. I'll try to get through this quick. Coming in at number 5 would have to be Kakashi Hatake. And even though Kakashi gets a lot of slack from viewers and from fans, I believe that Kakashi is probably, one of the dopest characters to me. He gets a lot of slack because of his whole chakra thing, and I don't think that should hold Kakashi back, really, because he has a great character. I like his summonings. I like what he brings to the table as far as a character in the actual show. He's one of those funny, laid-back characters and stuff like that, and he actually ties into the initial story at hand, which a lot of characters, one of them doesn't really tie into the story itself, but what I mean with that is he actually has a purpose within the Naruto series, and that's just probably the few reasons why I like Kakashi, man. He's just a dope character, a great character design. I love his design. It was just perfect to me what Kakashi brought to the table. Coming in at number 4 would have to be Kimimaro. I think Kimimaro had a really good character design. I like the way Kishi drew Kimimaro, his backstory, and how his family was basically slaughtered. He was like the only one left, just like Sasuke. And I think for some reason Orochimaru has this thing for kids who are very, very powerful, who don't have a family established. He was after. He had Kimimaro, he had Kabuto, as well as other characters that are fodder, and he also wanted Sasuke. So do you guys see the trend between all the characters that Orochimaru is actually trying to obtain? All these characters that have no family really, but are very powerful. At the moment, Kimimaro was very, very powerful at the moment that they were in. In that moment, Kimimaro was one of the most powerful ninjas in part of the Sound 5. So I think that Kimimaro had a great backstory, a great character, not really character development, but he had a great character, what he brought to the table with the fights between him, Gaara, and Rock Lee. Just all that. I think Kimimaro, I just love his character design. I think is probably why I like him. It's probably why he's one of my favorite characters. His character design itself is what drew me to him as a character. Some of the Sound 5 people say, oh, they're fodder, but they had a good character designs. They had their curse marks and all that stuff was pretty good. And Kimimaro stood out to me out of the Sound 5. So that's why he's at my number 4. Number 3 obviously goes to my boy Shikamaru. I don't know how many times I've said Shikamaru is probably one of my favorite characters. His character design, I think the only thing that really holds Shikamaru back is the fact that he's not really that powerful as far as brute strength and strength that he brings to the table. He has like a low mid-tier strength caliber. I don't think he's really high mid-tier. I don't think he's really mid-tier. As far as his power goes, I think he's kind of a low mid-tier power. As far as intellectually, I think he's high tier. He's top tier intellectually. He brings a lot of things to the table intellectually. He's intellectually smart. I think he's one of the original characters who became a Jonin. So I really like Shikamaru's character, from his laid backness and all that stuff. He's been a really good character. So definitely Shikamaru. Number 2 goes to Gaara. Gaara has been a consistent and great character to me throughout the whole series. And in a sense, Gaara brings the Naruto side of the aspect. I think throughout the series, Gaara has been this guy who was legitimately a bad guy at first, turned around and became a good guy. I believe the sign on his forehead actually means love. He was a character who didn't have a family, didn't have an establishment. They used him as like a weapon, so he wasn't really he wasn't really established until he met Naruto, and Naruto turned him around, and his character development made a 180. And I think Gaara probably has the best character development within the show itself. Besides my number 1 pick, I think Gaara has really, really great character development. And like I said before, he has probably one of the best defense within the show of Naruto. He's probably like top 15, top 10 best defense. I think people would rank him in there for best defense. As far as offense go, I think he relies more on Shikaku for offense. I don't think he has an established offense really, but his defense is bar none. And I think that's just really what brings Gaara to the table. He's been established as a character. You know, he had a great purpose into bringing something out of Naruto. You know, making Naruto fight even more. Naruto figured out that there was somebody out there just like him who didn't have a family. Well, he had a family, but it was like he was used as a tool. He didn't really know what love was. He wasn't really on the brighter side of things. I think that Gaara was one of Naruto's first accomplishments in turning someone around. You know, Gaara, Pain, and all those people. So Gaara was actually the first establishment for Naruto in bringing someone around into the bright side of things. So Gaara was that first established character in Naruto's life that gave Naruto the drive that he can actually change people in the series. So I think Gaara was that guy. Great character development. Gaara is my number 2 favorite character. My number 1 should go without saying, Itachi Uchiha. I don't really have to say anything about Itachi. You guys already know. Also, great character development. We thought he was a bad guy at first, then we found out his backstory. He's actually a good guy, very powerful, very intellectually smart, great defense. He has the total. He's probably the best overall character in the series, if you want to take it that way, because don't forget, he had a disease that was holding him back. I think as a complete package, he was the best overall character. You know, character development, defense, offense, you know, as far as fighting style, intellectually smart, great storyline. Just everything falls into category for Itachi. I think Kishi did a very good job in establishing Itachi Uchiha. Like, I can't think of any other character, you know, besides Gaara and I guess you could say Hashirama, Madara. I think Gaara and Itachi in the series had great character development. I can't think of any other characters, bro. Like, their character development is a completely different level. These guys went from both. Gaara was literally a bad guy, literally. Itachi wasn't, and that's what we perceived him as. That's what we thought he was. Gaara was literally a bad guy, made a 180. His character development completely changed. It was perfect. And then Itachi, his character, it was just flawless. His storyline as well as Gaara's storyline, I think they have the best storyline in Naruto, the best establishments. They've definitely gave the story worth or wealth in the story. They made the story what it is. You know, and Itachi has a lot of fans, and people would agree with me that Itachi is overall probably the best character in Naruto. If he didn't have that sickness, think of how powerful he would be. Think of what scale Itachi would be at. He was the youngest Anbu Black Ops member ever. I think if Kishi actually took his time to develop the Anbu Black Ops like he's doing now in the anime, he should have did that in the manga. The Anbu Black Ops, bar none, probably should have been mid-tier at best. I think everyone in the Anbu Black Ops should have been mid-tier at best. They should have been fodderizing a lot of people. During that pain fight, they should have been taking out those pains easy. So I think Kishi did it very well, develop great characters in Naruto. If you actually sit back and think about what these characters brought to the table, you know, from Gaara to Itachi to like I said, Kakashi, Shikamaru, you know, Kimimaro he didn't really bring anything to the table as far as the storyline goes. He was just one of those added characters just to give us a good fight and stuff like that. But, you know, Gaara was established throughout the whole story. Itachi established throughout the whole story. Kakashi established throughout the whole story. Shikamaru established throughout the whole story, even in the manga, for those who caught up with the manga. So I think these characters will probably be my top 5 favorite characters because they actually have great purpose, besides kind of Kimimaro. But the other four besides Kimimaro have great purpose in the story itself, and I just like it. So down below in the comment section, guys, give me your top 5 favorite Naruto characters. Also, like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and like I said, leave down below. Do you guys disagree with my top 5? Do you guys disagree with my points and why I put them in my top 5? What is your top 5? Leave it down below. I'm Edmund.